brothers and sisters, keepers of the light and children of the stars. I come to you tonight in love and light to deliver a very important message. You will hear some things in this documentation that you question and some things that you may be willing to outright deny. I implore you not to do so. I am Histad Bini, keeper of all and servant of the one true source of all things. And it is I, the only being who can tell the story as it is being told. You are under the impression that your Bible, extraterrestrials, science, and universal cosmology are all separate things. However, this could not be further from the truth. All is one. Tonight, I will show you that there is only one story that has ever been told and only one thing that has ever been discussed. The war between Saturnian reptilians, which you call Annunaki, and the human race. The story begins approximately 6 million years ago, when the planet Saturn served as the sun and overseer of the planet Earth. It is also important to mention that natural sunlight is directly responsible for human intelligence, brain structure, and cognitive function. And since we are aware that as above, so below, it would be extremely naive for us to believe that anything that has taken place on planet Earth has not already taken place somewhere else or is currently doing so. With that being said, the Saturnian mystery schools have served as galactic college for all upright walking species since the source first created this concept of galactic education 1 billion years ago. For us to properly move forward, we must first understand that the word Satan derives from the word Saturn. And is it not written in your Christian Bible that partially attributed to the downfall of Satan was his enormous pride and refusal to accept human beings? It was approximately 6 million Earth years ago when the incidents that would later become your Holy Bible initially took place. When the children of the Annunaki Council and the human beings first allowed the tensions to reach a boiling point. The word Annunaki comes from the word Annunayo, and contrary to what you've been made to believe, this has absolutely nothing to do with the sky or heaven. These words only hold earthly meaning. The word Anu or Anai simply means first. Nayu means divine. So this translates into first divine, or divine ones as they are more commonly referred to. Annunaki Council oversees all things Saturnian and is divided into 3 branches: intellectual advancement, the spiritual advancement, and military advancement. Anu, the most decorated of all Saturnians, general of the military, and quite honestly, one of the most feared in the galaxy, and his two sons, Inky and Enlil, all of whom care very little for the human species. The Saturnian reptilian has always been considered the most feared and the most advanced of all species. However, the human being does not fear nor feel in any way inferior to the reptilian. This created a deep jealousy amongst the reptilians that would create a deep hatred amongst the two species and create a war that would forever change the course of galactic history. After a series of incidents between the two, an enormous battle broke out. The reptilians were not doing so well. The council was forced to intervene. General Anu, because of his outstanding services and connections to the council, him and his son were given no disciplinary action, just told to stay away from the humans. Humans, however, were temporarily exiled back to their home planet Mars, where most human beings originate from. In anticipation of the notorious reptilian temperament, the human beings, upon returning to Mars, immediately prepared themselves for war. Reptilians did not disappoint. Within hours, General Anu, his sons, and a fleet arrived on Martian soil. Immediately, the Martian ground troops were deployed. This offended General Anu, and he began bombing Martian cities. These battles raged on for what would be considered 100 Earth years. And reaching its climax, the human beings did the unthinkable. Engaged in nuclear warfare. This is a breaking of galactic law, and the Galactic Federation was immediately summoned. The Jupiter Jedis, which is the most elite fighting force in the galaxy, were summoned. Final warning was issued to General Anu to stand down and for his sons and himself to come before the Federation for judgment. After several days of deliberating, Anu reached the conclusion that he had allowed his anger to get the best of him, and he had taken this way too far. Called a meeting between his two sons, Inky and Enlil, to discuss a necessary surrender. The mere thought of any reptilian surrendering in any battle for any reason completely enraged Enlil, and they began to fight. As Inky stepped in to split the two of them up, Enlil saw the opportunity to gain the upper hand, and he viciously took it. The decision was made to return to Nibiru. However, as predicted by Inky, Nibiru was obliterated. This left the rebel reptilian sons with only one place to go, the place they had most been forbidden, planet Earth. And it is for this very reason the creator and source of all things had the dome placed on your planet, so that those who were forbidden to come will never be allowed to leave.